Welcome to Intelligent Love. Very excited to be in Whole Foods today with Curtis Akins.
Thank you.
Thank you for helping me pick out some wine.
Oh, no problem.
We're going to kind of teach one another, I think, a little bit about picking out wine, and for gentlemen in particular, this is a very, very simple primer, just giving them an idea of what's good and not too expensive. As a friend of mine once said, that when you're at a restaurant, of course the wines are going to be jacked up prices much, much more than what you're going to find in a retail establishment, usually about 3 times as much.
Wow.
Yeah. So going in knowing what prices are. So when you're in the grocery store or in the liquor store, take a look and make sure you know where prices are. And then what you want to do is never choose the absolute cheapest thing, because that's the prices are really, really marked up on that. Yeah.
I like that rule.
And you look cheap, and I'm sure your date might know what the price of that wine was. So I would say move up just 1 or 2 from the bottom. You don't have to go all the way to the middle, and probably not all the way to the top unless you're really splurging. But during those times when you're splurging, I say go get the really good bottle somewhere else. Pay the corkage fee. You know, it's between $5 and $12, so it's definitely worth it.
Now, some tips that I'll throw in when it comes to wines and knowing what you like. Take notes, whether it's mental notes or writing them down. When you taste a wine that you like, ask the sommelier or the waiter at your restaurant, or even if you get a chance to go to Napa or some of the wine regions to taste some wines, take good notes and keep those notes. I have notes from 20 years ago when I first came to California about the wines I liked way back then. Alexander Valley, some great wines up there. Some wonderful wines, of course, in Sonoma and Napa Valleys. Even some of the areas that you're not familiar with, like way up north, the Fetzer Vineyards or in the Hopland area. Okay? So make notes of the places that you go, whether it's a restaurant or a vineyard, about the wines you like. And look for those.
Yeah, and I would also say make note of what you don't like.
Great
This is
point.
the number one thing when I was in the wine business, was knowing what characteristics I didn't like. I don't like anise. I don't like licorice in my wine.
Ooh.
And you know what you do is that's a really young red that's been aged in American oak. And so you get this flavor.
All that flavor
and I knew that that's not what I wanted. And I also didn't want something that was overly raisiny, like an over-dried, grape that just had too much jam in it. A lot of times, Zins are great if you have it with the right meal, but that characteristic comes out in Zins. So,
you had an interesting story about this bottle?
Yes, this is really exciting. I don't know if this is the myth or the legend or if this is true, but the rumor has it that 640 had a wine shop in Paris, and he walked into the store as a customer was already in there that was blind, and the blind gentleman had asked for a really good bottle of wine, and he knew a specific varietal, and he told the guy behind the counter, "How do I know you're not giving me the wrong bottle? I mean, I don't know for sure, and I really, really want this one because I heard it was really good, but you could be giving me a really cheap bottle and just charging me this price." So after that, 640 decided to put Braille on the label.
Wow.
And so just a little...
actually feel it there.
Yeah, it's the only wine label that I know of that comes with Braille on it.
So you bought this for Stevie Wonder?
Yes, I used to be in the music business, and he's a dear friend of mine.
Wow.
And so that used to be one of my favorite things, is to get a really killer bottle of 640.
Romance, wine, records. Girl, you can do it all. Intelligent Love, right?
Friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to Intelligent Love 411 for Men on iTunes.